Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's me, Rick Nethery, coming at you again with the Arisaka. I had promised you last week that I was going to make some videos with this rifle and do some, reloading. I got ordered a set of dies. These are some Redding dies, custom dies, but they're very good quality. So I plan to load up a few rounds. I got some new Remington brass. Then a friend of mine had donated some 6mm Remington brass. I've got 257 Roberts brass and 257. Well, I got 257 Roberts brass and 6mm Remington brass. They're just about identical, just a different neck, diameter. So what I'm doing essentially with this Wildcat, I'm taking the 257 Roberts cases and I'm necking this, necking it up to accept a 6.5mm bullet. I'm going from 257 to 264. Should be pretty straightforward. Unfortunately, my bolts for the mount have not come in yet. I ordered them. For some reason, they just took the money a couple days ago. They should be here soon. If they're here this weekend, I'll maybe try to do a little accuracy video with it. But for now, what I'm probably going to do is just test fire. Now, I have I got the dimensions for the cartridge. I can check them with my caliper and make sure I'm right. I think I'm in pretty good shape. And I found one load, that known load, and I've looked up a close, because this is not a commercial cartridge. I have found some load data that I can use on a very similar cartridge, the 6.5 by 55. But enough of that. I'm gonna try to load up some cases and see how it goes. JR Board, I believe it was. I appreciate you watching my last video, and you had a question on the trigger. I do plan to disassemble this for you, and I will show what kind it is. I do know this. Okay, there is no ammunition in the chamber, no ammunition in the magazine. Hold on just a second. Now, I do know that this safety, I guess it's part of that trigger, is backwards. It's backwards from what we're accustomed to here in the United States, because when you take it, you take it off safe that way, and then it'll fire. It still has the Arisaka safety that ties up the firing pin, but sir, I just want to promise you that I'm going to get to that. And while you're at it, if you could identify that sight base, please let me know, because I'd like to get a replacement for that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this video may be a little long, but this is for you serious gun guys that are into this like me. I'm going to show you something real that I like about the Arisaka, and there's a reason I'm doing this. The Arisaka probably has the easiest bolt takedown I've ever seen in my life. Just grab it, turn it. You can pull the safety off. You pull out the firing pin. Inside the firing pin is a spring. Bad luck with spring. Okay, the reason I did that is because when I first got my dies, I'm gonna test the fit of the cases that I make, but I made some dummy cases. See that? No primer, no powder. And what I was doing, testing fit, to make sure they cycle and eject, and that I don't have the die screwed in too far so the head space is too long. And it was just some fitting. I'm gonna try that with some, when I load some cases, to make sure I've got the size right before we fire the rifle. But I took out the mechanism for firing. That's what I'm doing. Just want to throw that in there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, what I'm doing now, I know YouTube's silly about this, but I'm not manufacturing ammunition. This is a 6mm. What I'm doing is I'm modifying some cartridges so I can fire an old relic firearm. But here's a 6mm case. See, it's a little resistance. I'm just swelling the neck out, and I got a bucket I use to catch them. Caught the primer. This is a now. I gotta get blue towels, man. These things are a lifesaver. Now this is a 257 Roberts case. So I'm gonna do the same thing. This is a 6.5 257 Roberts case. I'm gonna do the same thing with a real 257 Roberts case. I use a little bit of lead dye. I use some of that one shot, and that stuff is horrible. That spray kind, and I had more stuck cases than I've ever had. But same thing. All it does is necks it up. Either one of these cases work just fine. You can actually neck down 7mm Mauser. See, now both of these are the same thing. I can load cartridges. I'm gonna load up a few, and then we'll test and make sure they fit the rifle. But I'm gonna cut this. I don't want to get kicked off YouTube. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I have loaded some 6.5 257 Roberts. I have loaded some using the 257 Roberts brass, necked up to 6.5. I've also loaded some using 6mm Remington brass. Now the 6mm Remington brass was donated by my good friend Wes. Wes is a big time hunter, and he's got some pretty dang good stories about chasing wild hogs and deer around in the East Texas woods using a 6mm Remington. First we'll try the 6mm Remington, see how it cycles. I've got a pillow under here to catch them so it won't deform them. Here we go. Oh yeah, forgot to tell you, I have removed the firing pin, so this is not dangerous. Well, they seem to feed just fine. Now I'm going to try the 257 Roberts. Necked up, that brass necked up. Only thing after this to do is test fire them and see if anything weird happens. Here we go. Well, they seem to work just fine. This is a controlled feed action, very similar to a Mauser, Springfield, or Ruger, or Winchester. You know, it's a tried and true proven action. Now this one's been kind of worked on and modified. I think you could actually just stick one in the chamber and it'll close. Yep, they have dressed up the extractor. Normally you're not supposed to do that on a control feed rifle, but this one has been smithed over. Should be excellent. Let's go shoot it and see what happens. All right, ladies and gentlemen, for the first round out of the rifle, I've decided to remote fire it just for safety, in the spirit of P.O. Ackley. Now, I know he was not able to destroy or to blow up at Arisaka, but I'm just being cautious. I've got a blank target down there set up. I'm gonna fire fire one with the Remington brass, one of the 6mm Remington brass, and one with the 257 Roberts brass. And we'll see how it goes. I'll go Roberts first and then 6mm Remington. I know this video is a little different. It's probably a little long, but I'm kind of doing it in a style that I like to watch. I like watching videos by Rifle Chair, Gun Geek, and USOG, and they do kind of the review type videos. So I was giving it a try, and just kind of put my own redneck twist on it. But stand by, let's see if she blows or see if she shoots. It's live. All right, here we go. All right, take a look at the brass, see how it does. Brass looks very good. Now I'm gonna try the Remington brass, see what it does. All right, take a look at the Remington brass. It also looks pretty good. All right, I think I can fire it. No problem. This is a fairly light charge of IMR 4064 with 140 grain Hornady soft point. Well, that's where the two remote fired bullets landed. Looks like nice clean holes, no keyholes, so good to go. I may blow up a soda bottle and call it a day. Well, folks, that concludes this video. Sorry I couldn't do any real accuracy testing. I have no sights. All I have is a front sight. I went to the post office, and the screws I ordered, well, they were the right diameter, but guess what? They were too short, so I couldn't mount my scope. But I hope you've enjoyed this, and I promise that I'm going to make some future videos with this rifle. I'm going to put a scope on it, see what it can do. I'm really excited about it, and I'm glad I was able to share it with you. I hope y'all have a wonderful weekend. God bless each and every one of you.